There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. All my life been a derelict, derelict. All my friends, they wish me dead, they wish me dead. Every day is filled with dread, filled with dread. All my life been a derelict. I've got the time to close. Never change, yeah, I swear to it. And of all the times I've been down and out, this time was different, I welcomed it. Every day that I fail to quit, I wind up here in the state I'm in. The heavyweight, cause it's bound to break. I need a break, the skin I'm in. Tip of my tongue tastes like battery acid. Try to push forward, I cannot push past it. Feel the blood on my tongue, it tastes metallic. Another day passes, I don't break the habit. I've got the time to close. Swallowing me, falling into everything that I do, everything that gets to me feels so typical. I've got the time to close. Swallowing me, falling into everything that I do, everything that gets to me feels so typical. So typical. I've got them turning close, swallowing me, falling into everything that I do, everything that gets to me feels so typical. I've got them turning close, swallowing me, falling into everything
What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a good weekend. So you guys are gonna hear a lot of growling. Both of the dogs are behind me. I thought I'd they wanted to come downstairs, and now they're playing really loudly. But I'm gonna go over a couple things. Gonna go over like a lot of market psychology because I I don't know what it is like like people like my friends know I do this for a living. Like I trade. I work for a professional trading firm. I do this every day. I look at the market every day. And when I tell them to buy, they don't. And then after the aftermath of what happens, now they want to buy all of a sudden. So get into that psychology later. Just kind of want to see who's in here. What's up, Dorian? What's up, Dippy? Lord, it's nice to see you. Yeah, I'm streaming a little early today. It's because the like daylight savings or whatever. It gets dark quicker. I gotta take them for a walk. Yeah, the puppy's like always just jacked up, dude. He's like like a wind up toy. Like he just doesn't stop like ever. So I don't think you guys can hear him, but if you can, my apologies. Gonna go over charts first. Same thing, same old. Didn't go over last week, but I had a thought that maybe we get an inverted head and shoulders here. Maybe we dip back down, pump back upwards. It looks like we're trying to break this kind of downtrend or this really small downtrend on the weekly. Hard to say if it's, because diagonal lines are really not that accurate, right? So it's hard to say if this is really true. SPX still looking really, really bullish, though. We're not quite in a bull market yet, but we're still, 8.5% of all-time highs. It's pretty nice. What's up, yes, sir? I'm doing good, man. Finally made a live stream. Nice to see you. Yeah, I haven't streamed much, so that's kind of on me. But yeah, there just hasn't been a lot. I mean, there has been somewhat of a lot going on recently in crypto, but it's kind of a news based, which is making me a little concerned, right? So SPX. I mean, until we break this high, there's really nothing. We did break out of this resistance last week. Kind of in this weird diagonal, could be all the way out to here. It doesn't really know. You guys know how I am with diagonals. So really, until we break this local high of 4,600, nothing really changes macro-wise. If we go back below 4,400, I'd like to see 41 hold, as we would make, again, that kind of inverted head and shoulders there. That's kind of what I'm looking at and looking for. The dollar. So this is weird. This is a weird chart. I don't know a lot what to think. Like, are we in support? Did we break down, retest, and we're going down? If we're looking for confluence with SPX, I'm going to have to say that this is a breakdown, and then this week's a retest, and we should continue moving lower, ultimately. So, kind of hard to get a grasp on the DXY right now. But I'm going to have to go with breakdown and retest just for now. It could easily be we're just in support realistically until we lose 104, right? If we lose 104, then we're going down to 100 because that's our next biggest support level. So 104 is that confirmation because, like I said, this is kind of a like what's going on here. There's no confluence with SPX. There's no confluence with risk right now either. So it's kind of confusing. Total. A couple things I'd like to see this retest. What is this, like 1.3 trillion? We're very overextended. I don't think we're just going to keep continuing. I mean, there's a chance that we just go sideways here and go up. But again, that's still correction overall. Would like to see a retest and continuation. Tether, really solid. Last week, closed below this support level. Our next support level is 6%. If we close below 6%, I'm pretty sold on a bull market narrative. I still think we're going to get something like maybe like this. Where you have like a much larger bear flag. Ultimately, guys, this was an ascending wedge. So bearish reversal pattern, which means that the rest of crypto is going to be bullish. These have an inverse relationship, or at least the tether dominance has an inverse relationship with Bitcoin. So if this is bearish, Bitcoin's bullish, vice versa. I'd like to see this. I think this would give more time to accumulate. I don't think that Bitcoin, crypto in general is just going to just do this. Or, excuse me. Well, Bitcoin would go up, but this would just go straight down. I don't think that's just going to go straight down. Yeah. More on that later. Bitcoin, huge close over this kind of weekly, maybe resistance. Maybe it's upwards of 37 and I had it wrong. Let's move that here for now because we did get that touch. Yeah, I'd like to see a retest. I mean, that's kind of all I got for the weekly. For the daily, tweeted this a couple times this weekend, and then today or this morning, I had someone tell me that I'm looking for a double top, and I never said this is a double top, guys. This could literally do this and continue going upwards. I'm personally just seeing that we're exhausted, or we're showing signs of exhaustion. We have volume going down, price going up here. You have those divergences, higher highs in price, lower highs in MACD and RSI. I mean, those pretty much counter the idea, or pretty much say the idea that you're exhausted. On top of that, again, like with SPX, we could still come down, make that inverted head and shoulders, still very likely. Again, with tether dominance, you could get a retest, right? You could still come back up to 6.57 or even 7% to get a full retest. And yeah, I mean, it would go well with Bitcoin, maybe retesting 32. I think a lot of people, well, we'll get into psychology here in a second. Yeah, it is an ugly chart. Tomorrow's going to be exciting. Yeah, so I'll hit this. Why did I say Bitcoin's going to dump, and how do I know that? Okay, so you guys know I teach a trading class, and a lot of that has to do with market psychology. And I always try to bring up, like, I do all the TA stuff, but it's always good to have, like, what does the rest of the market think? Like, what does your retail investor think? What does your average NPC, no experience financial person think? And every single time I tweet right now, I get the people in the replies with the rocket ship emojis, and we're never gonna stop. We're gonna go to 48K. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Like, do you have any idea what you're talking about? Like, you're talking about a move, like 100% move with no pullback to 48,000. Like, you're talking about a 95% move with literally no pullback that was based on news. Is it possible? Yes, anything is possible. But this entire move was based on that ETF hype, right? There was nothing TA-wise that said that this should continue, that this should have even broke 32,000. Like, I'm happy. I had my DCA in. I'm probably going to take profits on Link, and I'll show you guys why here in a moment. But I didn't really trade any of this. I got a couple of, like, nice scalps in. I made, like, a couple $1,000s here and there. Like, I've made over the last couple weeks, like 5 figures-ish, which is, like, it's a lot of money. So I'm not going to complain and sit here. But, like, trading account-wise, it's not that much, right? Like, if I was, long here and sold here, I would have made like $100,000. So yeah, like literally $100,000 or more. So it's one of those things where there was no setup here, and it was all news based. And if you guys know me and you've been following for a while, news based pumps retrace almost all the way where they started. And this thing started right about here at 28,000. I think coming back to 28,000 would make sense. Let's even, just for shits and giggles, let's do this. I mean, yeah, you could easily do something like this, come back to 28K, 32K, sorry. I don't think you can come all the way back to 28K, but 32K probably. And again, like macro-wise, this kind of movement, like let's say we do that, right? Over the next year or so, that's 2024 going into 2025. I mean, this is like bull market starting. Excuse me, like it's probably like right about here. This is like bull market starts. We'll just put like BMS. Bull market starts right about there. I mean, look at this. You're not just going to do this all the way to all-time highs. That's just not what happens. There needs to be more accumulation, in my opinion, more sideways. I mean, it could just be up, sideways, like that, like stair-stepping like it did in 2015. I don't think we're going to retest the lows unless we have a black swan event, like someone gets nuked, which, could be likely, but I doubt it. But more or less, market psychology-wise, I'm having my friends hit me up about buying Bitcoin right now. Guys, I texted them. I just tweeted it in July, right? Let's look at July of 2022. We were what, here? Let's say we were at the absolute lows. I'm not going to say I told them to buy, on the bottom of these wicks, but somewhere around here is when I said, hey, you guys should probably start buying, right? Did I buy the absolute bottom? Like, no. But I accumulated during this whole transition to the bottom, which, yes, I kind of did buy the bottom. Anyways, that's when I started telling them to buy, right? My average, if you look at this whole box, let's just like go somewhere in the middle and say my average was 18,000 to 20,000. Okay, so we'll just for keepsake, we'll say 19,000 is my average, right? We'll say 19,000. So if I bought at 19,000, I'm up 92% right now, right? That's when I told them to buy. No one cared. No one even answered my text message. No one said, hey, that sounds like a good idea, or hey, what exchanges can I buy on, or hey, can I transfer you some money and you can just buy it for me and store it on your ledger, whatever, right? No one was interested. No one cared, right? I had mentioned it hundreds of times. We were down, 72%, 80% here. I actually have if you look at the history of Bitcoin, between 80 and 90% drawdowns are when the bottom's in. And, that's happened 3 or 4 times now where we've hit 80% and essentially bottoms. And now the ultimate confirmation of the bottom is making a new high, of course. You can't really say the bottom's in until we break our last high, but there's pretty good confirmation, right? I mean, everything looks pretty solid. But yeah, no one replied, no one cared, which is fine. I just shoot the information out, and if people want it, they can get it. If they want to get in, they can. If they don't care, then that's fine too. I don't care, right? If someone wants to get in, that's fine. But texting me after the fact, and after we're up, let's again, that 92%, 103%, whatever it is, and saying, hey, is this a good time to buy? And I'm not dissing my friends at all. I'm saying market psychology wise, right? People look at candle colors, they look at movement, and they say, wow, that's a lot. Here, let's even look at the 2021 bull market. They go, wow, that's a lot of green. I should buy that. Like, if you ever see this again, right? Or even this, you ever see that again, sell. Look to sell, look to take profits. Let's look at the current weekly, right? If we look from all the way back here, right, we're up a shit ton. Now, does that say that the ultimate top is in? No, it's probably a local high. This is probably just a local high. There's really not that much euphoria in the market. A lot of people are, there are some people texting me and people are getting euphoric, but it's not like it was in 2021. Not even close. So you've got that going on. It's probably a local high. We'll probably, retrace, do something like that, ultimately. That's at least what I'm looking for. But when everyone starts hitting you up, your grandma, your mom, whoever, and they say, hey, should I start buying? Like, this looks pretty solid. This looks good. This looks that. Whatever it is, high's probably in. Like, again, these are people that don't look at the market every day like you do. They don't pay attention to the space. All they do is see that, these green candles, or they look at a news article that says Bitcoin's up 80% this year. You should look to buy. Like, you should never look to buy if you ever see anything like that. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys listen, and I appreciate that. That was not only like you guys just trusting that judgment, but also, putting my integrity and pride on the line and saying, like, no, I believe that we're close. Even if 15 wasn't the bottom and 12K was the bottom, and you started buying at 18, 17, 18K, you were still looking pretty solid. Like, you were still absorbing, the low. Anywhere in this box, even if, again, if we went to 12K, if you bought this box, you were looking absolutely solid. And if we ever go below, 25, maybe 20K, again, I'll look to start DCing a little bit more. But I just don't see it happening. Crazy dogs. But yeah, I just, wanted to kind of share that and say, like, guys, when we start a bull run again, because it's, probably going to start a bull run again, not like the whole world's ending. If we start doing this and your friends start hitting you up here, sell your shit. Sell it all. Like, don't even worry about the TA, right? Maybe we go up a little bit more. Maybe we do that, right? And okay, You know, the difference between 89 and 96 is what, 10%? You know, great. Still made a shit ton of money. But yeah, if your friends start hitting you up here, it's time to sell. It's time to get out. Like, these people, and I'm not like, if any of my friends are watching, I apologize. Like, I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying, like, from the perspective of someone that doesn't watch the market all the time, when you get information that something is moving like exponentially high and you're like, oh, probably a good time to buy, it's actually never a good time to buy. How long before the pullback? I don't know, probably sometime this week or next week. I mean, probably between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which I know is a big time frame, but if you think about it, it's the holiday season here in the US, right? Everyone's like, I'm going to go to Thanksgiving this year and I'm going to hate it because everyone's going to ask like, oh, I heard this and I heard that Bitcoin's doing this. Should I buy it? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I am just going to be rude and say no. And when they ask why, I'm just going to be like, dude, because you shouldn't. You're asking me to buy, and like that's a terrible time to buy. Like, I know it's coming. I know it's coming for me this Christmas. It comes every year. It's people either laugh and say, oh, how's your crypto doing? Are you still doing that? I'm like, yep, still doing it. Or they'll be like, oh, should I start buying? Like, I heard Bitcoin's up 100%. Should I buy it? Like, no. You should have bought when I told you to a year and a half ago when it was down 80%. Either way, let's look at Link real quick. Just kind of anyone that's in Link or interested. Sent this to my patrons. I'm looking to sell this. Where? And if well, this is still a long-term holding. Now, it will not become a long-term holding if weekly RSI hits 90. If we hit 90, so let's say, we have another run up to 18 or 27, 24, 22, anywhere up here, and RSI goes to 90. Now, again, look historically, when RSI hits 90, we have a pretty large sell-off, right? This one was 63%. And this one was 70%. So if we get that, the things that pump the hardest are going to dump the hardest, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. And this is still very, very bullish on the weekly. I mean, we could still do that, right? Like, easily. And again, if we get that 90 RSI, I'm going to look to sell. Because historical measurements still matter. And 90 RSI on a weekly chart is unreal. That's huge. Not only that, but anyone that knows me, or not anyone that knows me, but anyone that's in the Discord or knows where I'm buying. Guys, I bought here. I even tweeted that I bought at $5.16. Now, I was dollar cost averaging throughout all this, but I made a pretty large purchase down here because I didn't believe this low was going to break. Also, we had massive bullish divergences on this weekly RSI. So I was just not convinced that we were going to go any lower. But yeah, that's kind of my plan for Link. That's the only thing I'm really looking to do anything with. I probably won't sell any of the other like microcaps like Digibyte, Crow, Ajax, ICP, FET, Matic. Like, I'm in some of these, like, guys, and the amounts that I'm in, these are insignificant. Unless they do like a 20 or 30x, I don't really care what they do. But Link is a six-figure position once we break $20. So I'm looking to definitely take profits on that. Again, if RSI hits 90, I have that alert set. I will pay attention, and I absolutely will sell that. And again, I will look to rebuy. Let's say we get to 27 and then we drop all the way back down to $12. You're looking at a similar correction to these other periods of time where RSI hit 90 and we came back to about the 50 level. So when you hit basically you're overextended when you return to the mean at the 50 level, which could be anywhere between a 50, probably 40 to 60% correction. That's huge. That'd be a huge long-term trade. God, he's so big now. He's like 60 pounds now. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to have to put him down. God, he's so big. When I got him, he was 7 pounds, and now he's 50. Almost, no, not 50. He's probably like 45. He's going to be 145 soon, though. Probably in the next year. But they grow up so fast. But yeah, that's more or less my plan. I mean, I'm not really looking to really get into any longs. I mean, if we get some kind of, let's say we do this, right? We do something like this, I'll look to long. If we don't, and we can continue higher, that's fine. DCA is going to capitalize on those gains, but ultimately looking for a pullback, just looking at the daily and looking at how everything else is overextended as well. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. But yeah, guys, that's about all I got for today. Oh, I did want to say one thing. For those of you that, I know a lot of exchanges this year, especially in the U.S., if you're a U.S. citizen, you can't use a lot of those exchanges. I partnered with Bitget, and Bitget made a sister exchange called Coincatch. You can legally use it in the U.S. There is a trading competition going on right now. All the rules I posted on Twitter. All you'd have to do is use my referral link to make an account and then hit the register button when you get in or on the app. I believe there's up to 25 Bitcoin in rewards, and I'm pretty sure the early bird registration's over, but essentially you're just, if you're already trading every day or, a couple times a week, it's based on P&L. It's not based on dollar amount. So it's just kind of an extra way to make some more cash or win some cash. There's no, hey, get out of there. There's no, like, you don't have to, I think you do have to have like 20,000 in trading volume over the competition, which for some of you might be a lot. But again, they have to set some kind of precedence. But it, P&L based, you can win some money. You could have a small account and make it a large account pretty quickly. So if you're interested in that, check that out. With all that said, guys, be patient.